Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second round of the Waco Annual Charity Open. My name's Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb with Two Hot Geese.
Honk honk. We're so happy to be bringing you the footage again for this weekend, and we are happy to be here tomorrow as well. We're out here at Brazos Park East, aka The Beast, and it did show its teeth today. On the card, we will get to watch Kona Panis after her absolutely smoking hot first round. Paige Pierce doing what she does best. Valerie Mandujano, the young from Texas that is really exploding out onto the scene, and Catrina Allen.
Should be a really fun watch. Very similar conditions to yesterday, maybe even a bit windier.
I would say it was way windier.
Yeah, okay, yes.
But I also
trying to block it out
in the wind. It was brutal out there. Hole 1, it's a 291-foot par 3. You think you're excited about starting on a short hole, but there's out of bounds literally everywhere. You have to cross through that gully that is out of bounds. There's out of bounds sidewalk on the left at the top of the hill, and it slopes pretty steeply to out of bounds on the right-hand side, just about 1.5 feet away from that GK Pro wall.
I'm curious how many will go up the gut, and how many are going to do that spiky hyzer. With that wind, I feel like the hyzer was scarier.
Yeah, it's a left to right crosswind ripping off the river. I would say around 20 to 25 miles per hour. All the flags are definitely making a lot of noise behind the tee pad. And the first hole jitters too.
That's just the danger of going up the gut, though. I mean, if you hit that stuff, there's no spitting through it. It is just so grabby.
Kona probably going to re-tee after this, but if you re-tee, you have to wait until after everybody on the card throws their initial drive. We will find out.
Yeah, you can't move forward, but it makes the footing weird. You can see that side hill. This looks great from Paige.
Tickles the branches on the left, but kind of works the disc out to a little bit more of an overstable finish, and it's right outside the circle.
Valerie's really hitting the scene big this year. Saw a little bit of her kind of the last 2 years, but it seems like she's just exploding. She did really well at the Memorial. She's doing great here with a 3-under round. A little tight, but
looking very confident on the hyzer shot.
That's a AVR X3, so just playing a nice stable putter, just playing for the par.
On hole 1, honestly, I think that's the smart move in the field. Trying to get that birdie, and especially in that wind, is going to require you to throw your disc on some pretty crazy angles in this wind, and if anything happens, the punishment is real. So I really like the play for par here.
This is Cat's M2. I think that's a really common mistake to hit that tree, but it drops in bounds and leaves like a, 125 foot upshot, 50, something like that.
The upshot's a little bit scary as well with it being on a steeply sloping green. We'll watch Kona re-tee, putting it safely in the middle. She'll be just inside circle 2.
Yeah, it's a good correction, but likely she'll be taking the double bogey. She makes that putt. Perfect little upshot for Cat.
Valerie playing the high side of the hill, smart play. Kona lining up the putt. I know she's been feeling really confident with her new putt. She got to Waco a couple weeks early and has gotten a lot more practice rounds than most people get on tour.
She also has that floaty and hyzer putt, so if she misses, it tends to stay near the basket.
Mm-hmm. Paige running it. Misses to the right-hand side, but she'll have a pretty straightforward comebacker for par.
Yep, no problem.
It's so weird. On the tee pad, you can really feel that left to right crosswind, but when you get onto this green, there's not really a lot of action. That hill blocks it really effectively. That is a rare case from Valerie.
Could be some nerves, or just, maybe not taking her time.
Oh, no.
That one was nerves. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a rough start.
Hole 1 jitters taking their toll. On hole 1, though, it was the third most difficult hole of the course. It averaged at 3/4 of a stroke over par. 3 birdies on the day. Congrats to Holly Finley, Owen Scoggins, and Julie Eagle, but a lot more bogeys, double bogeys, and even triple bogeys, 50% of the field.
A rough start. All right, we got hole 2. The drone coverage is brought to us by thediscbarn.com. Go check it out. The Disc Barn has a great variety of Discraft and Discmania, and a great selection of over 14 other brands with pictures of every single disc. Just check them out at thediscbarn.com. We are on hole 2. It's 531 feet. It is reachable, but it is a screaming headwind. Just...
it's so this hole's so straightforward. It should be fairly easy to get a birdie, but it's not.
It's actually surprisingly easy to turn it over too much into the river with the headwind. As you get towards the pin, the sidewalks on the right and left pinch together. You can see Paige flirting with it. I think she gets away with it. But yeah, it in no wind, this is like a gimme birdie. But with the wind that comes off consistently every day off that river, it's so difficult for some reason.
Yeah, to get the birdie, you really do have to try to throw a max distance drive to make that upshot a little bit more manageable with the sidewalk super close behind it. So in order to get distance, you kind of have to commit to showing the underside of the disc. We did not see Catrina do that because she crushes, and she can just throw a hyzer up there.
Yeah, that Bushnell Range FInder put her at 372 feet, I believe it was, with a D2, which isn't just such a crush when it's this much of a wind.
Yes.
20-ish miles an hour.
Kona also committing to the hyzer. She says she doesn't want to show the underside of her disc today. And another thing, there's a million ways to get to this basket. There's a lot of room over to the left-hand side. So pretty much any drive works as long as you don't catch an early tree.
I've been driving like into the flatter spot on the right, but then it leaves the upshot really difficult because you have to throw dead straight. So I actually think I might go to the left side.
Yeah.
So because it leaves a hyzer and you're throwing in a crosswind instead of a headwind. Yep. So it's interesting to see the strategies on this hole.
Looks like Valerie picked way wide right, sets her up for a forehand, easy hyzer up and down. She's just outside the circle, a little further than you want with a headwind on that green, but she's got herself a putt for birdie. Paige in this about the same spot as Valerie, a little further up.
I believe this is her sole. Is it just a bit short? Look for birdie though.
I feel like that is another fairly common move on this hole with that sidewalk so close to the backside of the green and the headwind both playing against you.
This is a Lone Howl PD, I'm pretty sure, from Kona. A beautiful forehand. Her forehand's such a weapon. She's just been working on it so hard, and it's just looks so smooth and comfortable.
And on this course, it pays off heavily. There's so many sidearms. Katrina's always had a great sidearm. She leaves it a little bit shorter than you want, but her putting's been looking strong. Valerie commits to the layup. Pars are good at the Beast, especially on these open, windy holes.
Well, especially, what a great bid from Paige. Especially Valerie having, some putting woes on the first hole. Sometimes it's good to just get your par and start gaining some momentum.
Catrina with a crosswind putt towards the river, very scenic.
Ooh,
Cash
sticks
money.
in left side.
Birdie feels good on the field today, even though the average was only just over the par of 4. And there was a handful of birdies. I feel like it feels nice with that wind. In those conditions, you feel strong.
I feel like you feel correctly with all those feels.
I feel a lot out here. This course really brings the feels.
It does. Usually painful ones.
A lot of pain. Moving on to hole 3, it's another par 3, feels fairly short, 320 feet, but it is uphill, and there are a lot of trees to contend with, especially these 3 right here in the camera screen. The basket's elevated. It's pretty windy on the green, even though we're getting closer to the woods. No real trouble to get in with out of bounds unless you flip something really bad. But it's just about trying to keep that disc on hyzer and floating straight for as long as you can.
Not hitting the fairway trees.
It's very important. Katrina gets over on it a little bit, takes the fairway trees out of play, but also goes a little straighter than you want with not enough finish. She'll be outside the circle, but with a tailwind putt. Kona making the fairway trees look like they don't matter.
I believe this is an iBlend Emperor from Kona.
She'll be a little bit short and left with a headwind putt on the elevated basket. Wonder if she'll run at it.
It'll be interesting. I think she's being really aggressive, and I think it's paid off for her, so I bet she does. Bet you $1.
Yeah. I bet you $1 the other way.
Right. That's what a bet is.
I have to agree to the bet. Paige catches one of those fairway trees. It's a straightforward up and down from there. Easy par. Valerie taking the same route as Catrina. I think that's the distance thrower's route. Looks great. She's inside the circle.
I believe that was her Scorpius. Really great shots from those 3 ladies to get close. Paige just having to lay up. Cat likely laying up as well.
This hole averaged at even par for the field.
Oh, she's a little farther than I thought. I owe you $1.
Making money already.
Yeah,
this
we'll do a
morning.
double or nothing later. Don't worry.
Catrina has a pretty sharp uphill putt, so she opts for the layup as well. Valerie lining up. Love to see her shaking off those hole 1 woes. Getting aggressive on this elevated basket. Might take a few holes to work the kinks out. I'm confident in her. She's such a great putter. She's very solid in all things. She just looks comfortable. On the field, there was only 2 birdies on the day. Both were actually on my card. Congrats to Haley King and Christina Linthicum. Both inside the circle. Great comebacker from Valerie.
I wouldn't really think of this one as a lefty hole, but...
Yeah, Christina, she's got the routes dialed. Christina Linthicum's a local from Texas. You guys check her out. She's unbelievable. She struggled a little bit yesterday on the green, which is unusual for her because she always beats my butt on the Disc Golf Pro Tour putting competition at the beginning of the year. But check her out. She's a very talented local, very fun follow on social media. Couple of pars. Moving on to hole 4.
Into the woods.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, you're actually like happy to get into the woods because it's so windy and it's less windy in here. So you want to lay up to right here. The closer you can get to this massive tree on the right, the better the chance you have at a birdie, but par feels amazing. So you're just going layup, zig, layup, zag, layup up to the pin.
Hopefully stay out of the woods.
Yeah, trying not to go too far into the water. It's really technical. Most people are going to throw like a putter or a mid. If you want to get really aggressive, you can throw a fairway driver and try to skip over to the left.
Catrina throwing an absolutely textbook shot off the tee. That is literally perfect. It's exactly what you want. I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the further drives of the day in
Definitely.
the FPO field.
That's that same M2 that I believe she threw on hole 1.
She's going to have a wide open second shot. Trouble areas are that tree on the left. Hopefully we will not see anyone getting tangled up in there.
It was so close. That was an AVR X3 and it just needed to beat that last tree. She should be fine right there with her forehand, but it was almost perfect.
This is one of the wooded holes on the Beast where you have to pitch out when you get in the woods. There's no option to scramble. And by one of the holes, I mean every hole in the woods.
Yeah.
Paige catches that early left tree I was telling you about. Doesn't quite trickle deep into the woods. She will have an ability to make a shot, but she's going to have to settle for par from there.
And miss it. That's not a bad shot. It's a little bit better to be on the left side to leave a forehand shot. She'll probably have to do some sort of patent pending. Yeah, so now you're trying to lay up near where that spotter is or over to the right as much as you can.
Paige tries to wrap the corner a little tighter than necessary, catches that huge tree, but she'll have a really straight approach to the basket from where she landed. Kona looking to get to the pin.
Yeah, I think that's that same PD, the Lone Howl PD.
That big tree on the right is just outside the circle, so that's a really nice marker while you're on the fairway. It's like she's just around that point.
It looks like a Nova, and at least she didn't kick in too far.
Looks like our FPO ladies figured some stuff out today. This hole, it was only the 5th most difficult. Yesterday, I believe it was the 2nd. Averaged just about a half stroke over par. Only one birdie on the day. Congrats to Deanne Carey.
Yeah, I was on her card, and it was awesome. She got all the way up to the big tree, just with a normal backhand, but with a fairway driver, and it skipped way up there, and she could actually see the pin on her upshot, which is astounding.
That is amazing. Catrina with the longest drive in the field. You can see she could barely see the basket. She pitches another forehand, and she'll have a putt for birdie.
Paige able to get out of the woods and get in the circle as a quality upshot.
Kona having to take a knee and throw an Anheuser forehand shot with the putter, but she's really good at that. She feels comfortable doing that. Leaving herself a straddle putt, but it's inside the circle.
Yeah, a little over 20.
I would say this is the only green in the woods where you do feel the wind from the river a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. There's that big gap right there.
There's a pretty steep hill just behind the basket. You can kind of tell it just drops off into nothingness. Makes this putt a little scary. Worried about the rollaways.
Clutched her heart.
She's catching the feels.
She is. She's feeling those feels. Ooh, that Annie putt worked so well with that tree right there. That was awesome. GK replay for you. Boom.
Yeah. I feel like most players in the field would just take a straddle there. Not Kona.
No need.
No need. Paige with a super death putt. No sweat off her back.
Yeah, that's a great scramble for Paige. She was in those woods a good bit on that last shot.
Cabbage, 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 par.
Valerie taking the bogey, but I don't know. I feel like if you could tell me I'd get a 5 on this hole every time, I wouldn't be that
You'd
upset
take
with
it?
that. I might take that deal.
We'll take a look at the leaderboard. Kona is still dominating the field. She's shooting +1 on the day, but after yesterday, she is capable of anything. Catrina starting out hot, -2, and the rest of the field kind of matching up with similar scores to yesterday. It's early. Anything can happen out here. And we're moving on to hole 5. It's a par 3. It's 264 feet. With anything under 275, you feel like this is a gimme, right? No, it is straight uphill. There is a lot of low-hanging branches. So to work that height that you need to get up the hill, you have to contend with a bunch of trees. It's tough to get there. You need to throw something super linear and super aggressive.
Yeah, to get there, you have to throw straighter than you want. Like, your body wants to turn it over, but the right side is horrible.
Horrible.
Spoken from experience. Yeah. The left side's better.
There's a lot more room to work.
A really good shot. That looked like a putter. Let me see.
She doesn't look happy with it. She wanted it to filter a little more up the hill to give herself a flat look at the putt.
Oh, that was an M4. Yeah, I'm sure it'd be nice to be parked, but still, she's got to look. And this is like the common mistake, right? To turn it over more than you want, and then skip to the right. So she could have filtered all the way to the woods and be kind of trapped. Hopefully she's just on the edge.
Paige working that left-hand side
Early
a little too
release.
hard. Yeah.
That'll be a tough up and down for Paige, which she's really good at, so. That's a gimme par for Paige.
I'd like to take my bet here. Do you think she'll throw a sidearm or a backhand? I'm betting she's going to throw a backhand approach.
Right, so that leaves me with one option for the sidearm.
Do you take the bet?
I'm gonna pass on the bet, unfortunately.
Paige having a much more awkward stance than I expected, having to throw that patent pending spread super wide. She does have the power, but doesn't quite get it up that very steep hill just before the green. Valerie dealing with the same kind of thing on the right-hand side.
That was a great shot from there. That looked really awkward.
It
You don't have to be very far in the woods to have almost nothing, which is crazy. It looks like, oh yeah, they're 2 feet in, but I think both of them, were they both on a knee?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Paige was just straddled out wide.
Just way straddled. That was a great bid.
You know, she's not happy with the bogey from here, but that can happen on any hole at the Beast, even the shortest. Catrina for birdie.
Get it.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow, solid putt. Super solid with the awkward stance.
Is that 3 down now for Kat?
Yep.
Wow. She's killing it. Look at that focus face.
Looking super strong.
Dead center.
Straddle putt uphill, when you're having to lean forward on your toes like that, that is tough. And she makes it look coordinated and easy. Kona found some cabbage on the right-hand side, but she's got a look.
Wow.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, she even hit a leaf.
There we go, Kona.
Her putt's looking so good. It's always tough when you change your putt to kind of settle in, but she looks pretty settled.
Solid. Dead center chains.
Paige taking the bogey, unfortunately. But, man, 2 birdies on the card is good on this hole.
Yep, not bad. Valerie is probably happy with the par. She's trying to still shake the rust off a little bit.
Our warehouse manager Dylan is on vacation this week, so we decided to bring Heather in to keep things running at a high level. She's already had a huge impact on our crew, and overall, they've embraced the changes surprisingly well. We're really happy with how Heather is doing in this new leadership role.
Hole 6 is a par 3, another short one, 267 feet. It's definitely a forehand hole. If you have it, you can get away with a backhand putter or mid, but you definitely have to push really far to the right to have a look. So many fairway trees.
Just so many trees.
Such a tight gap.
There's just trees everywhere. If you filter off to the right, that is where the real trouble is. Left side, if you go early, you can work from there. You can still see the basket. Catrina goes early right, but still just makes it through everything.
Yeah, it was a D1, and she definitely... I think if she had it just a bit flatter, it would get there no problem. But highs her the whole way, just outside the circle. But she just made one of those, so no problem. Kona, that's a nice so close.
Pushes a little straight and forward, but she will have a very straightforward up and down, no problem. Super downhill from there. Valerie taking the backhand. Love watching people throw this shot because it's something I can't fathom trusting in my bag.
Yeah, terrifying.
She filters a little bit straight, but it's fine. She'll have a long, just outside circle 1 putt. Paige going with the backhand as well. Kind of surprised to see her not throwing more sidearms.
Yeah, that is surprising. I mean, she's got a great sidearm. She really leaned on it last year a lot, and I mean, this is the course to do it. But you can get away with a backhand here.
Yeah, and we all know she's very comfortable throwing her putters.
Perfect.
No biggie. Paige pulling out the forehand now. Does that look like a zone?
It could be a buzz.
Okay. It's a little early release, but she'll be able to see the basket from there. It looks like she's around 30 feet.
Cat with a little meat on the bone here. Nice long bid. Huh? Ah.
Wow.
Good effort.
Are you inside the circle now?
Even with this hole being 267 feet, only 4 birdies on the day from the FPO field.
Ooh.
And we get to watch one of them right now.
Huge bid. How far do you think that was?
Padding that circle 2 stat. I know that for a fact.
She's like 50. Going downhill. Maybe not quite that far.
That's one way to shake off the putting rust from today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was perfect. No wobble. Really clean.
Congrats to Missy Gannon, Cynthia Rizziotti, and Lydia Lyons as well for their birdies. Paige looking to scramble here for her par.
Mm-hmm. 1 inch too low. Man, the beast will do it to you. You know, one mistake quickly turns into multiple. You know, you're off a little early and the upshot's tough and it leaves you with a long putt and it happens really easy.
A lot of golf left. Still does not feel great. And we move on to hole 7. It's another par 4 in the woods, 429 feet. One of my favorite holes on the course. You have to throw up this gap right here. There's a mando on the left-hand side. A lot of people will be cheating around the mando and just trying to pitch out into the field. Once you get out here, you have to hit this gap that goes over a very steep gully, and the green has a bunch of roots on it. It's dirt and it skips a lot, so expect some skips, some rolls, some bounces. It's a little windy out here because we're on the edge of the woods right by the road, but you don't notice that until your second shot.
I believe this is a Thunderbird, and she threw it perfect.
That was perfect.
And actually, there's like a crazy wind in the gully. Like, I threw an upshot that was flying great, and then as soon as it hit the gully, it got slammed down. Like, we're talking 10 feet of just drop. So definitely some wind to contend with out here.
Catrina trying to, like I said, cheat that mando, just pitch out, get out of the woods, catches a tree. But from there, you really still can get up and down. It might require a little bit of a scrambly sidearm or backhand, but it's gettable. The only mistake you don't want to make on this fairway is turning it over to the right-hand side. There is nothing for you over there. There's no way to get to the basket.
Yeah.
Just stay away.
Kona throws a really quality shot. She'll have a look for the bird. This looks like a putter or like a...
Oh, that's actually a very favorable kick. Makes it past the mando.
I wonder if that was I think that was her zone.
She finds the wall of trees that are shorter, pitches out. She's ready to just accept her par here.
Yeah, at least she had an opening there. Cat with a tight gap.
They're in the standstill. Looks like she's ready to settle for par as well.
I don't know.
Oh.
It's a D1, I feel like. Maybe she was trying to make something happen. Should have an easy up and down for the par.
This hole, I feel like, is a great women's hole.
I think so. It's definitely gettable.
It's the perfect ratio with 25 birdies, about 35 above bogey or worse, and about 40 in the middle of the par. So it's scoring well for the ladies. It's capitalizing the ones that aren't making mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot throw a bad shot and get your birdie, or like a so-so shot. It takes two very quality shots to get it. It's very fair.
Where Valerie went into the woods, you can still have an up and down at the basket. You can still get a look at a putt. Where Paige went into the woods, you're kind of taking a gamble. You don't... that area over on the right-hand side, the left-hand side is brutal.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That Bushnell Range FInders showed a 191-foot upshot for Kona. She is parked for her birdie.
What is she throwing for the forehand approach? AVR 3?
You know, just put me right on the spot. Yeah, AVR X3.
Okay, AVR 3. Katrina does the same thing, making it look easy.
Long uphill bid for Valerie.
Can she putt uphill and downhill?
Just downhill.
Just downhill. Paige still with maybe a little bit of a look. There's so many little tiny thorns and roots and everything over there, I know from experience. She lands it flat, though. Doesn't have to worry about any rollaways. Taking another bogey. Not loving seeing Paige on the bogey train.
Yeah, I think that's 3-4. Definitely looking to clean it up a little bit. Kona and Kat kind of not quite running away. Maybe like slightly speed walking away from the field. That's a great birdie from Kona. Maybe Kona's jogging.
She's definitely going faster than speed.
Hole 8, it's a shorty. You want this one. It is 213 feet. Backhand putter will do it. I don't really see very many forehands on this one, but I suppose that's a play. It does filter down to the right. This hillside is dangerous, and if you go too far to the right, you are left with absolutely no putt. Here's that forehand I was saying is super common from Kona.
Looks like a mid. If I had to guess, that's her Mako 3. She talks about loving throwing the Mako 3. I think that's a great play. Kind of throw a mid-range low and let it just slide up to the basket. That way you don't have to worry about it finishing super hyzery down the hill. You can just leave yourself up there in the flat. Valerie, so good at throwing her backhands down tight wooded fairways.
Yeah, her form is super clean.
Inside the circle. She'll have a few little greenery to continue with.
Oh man, Kat early releases and gets a pretty rough kick. She'll probably have a
It's gonna be
lot of trees in her way to get to the pin.
Yeah, that is a tough up and down from there. Paige going for the forehand on this tee. Catches the right side early, but she'll have a look at the pin. No problem for her to get up and down for her par.
Yeah, she is an open look versus Kat is... Ooh,
Wow.
wow, making it happen. That was awesome.
That was amazing.
Man, 2 inches off the ground the whole way. Paige left with a little more than you'd like. A little tougher than you'd like. Yeah.
Man, I'm surprised.
I'm not. Do you see this place?
I know. I thought she was just on the edge.
That's, yeah.
That's
like
how
I
it
said
works.
earlier,
That's how it
you
works.
really don't have to be very far in there. If you're more than 3 inches in the rough,
I wonder
you're gonna
how
have
many
a
times
problem.
people have approached their lie and been like, oh, I thought I was just on the edge.
Yeah. I would say constantly.
Kona with the death putt, no biggie, birdie. That hill doesn't look super steep on the camera, but man, it is steep.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure.
And when you get down there, there's so many trees right on the edge, it really takes away your opportunity to putt back uphill.
Yeah, if you miss that putt, it's a bogey. Kona's looking so confident out there. It's really cool to see.
Huge comebacker from Paige to save the bogey. Putting stroke still looking confident. She's just not getting a lot of opportunities to putt. She's having to scramble.
If you don't get off the tee here, you're not going to have a good time.
That was to save her par with super awesome scramble shot out of the woods. Not quite enough. That's her first bogey of the day.
Yeah, first blunder. I mean, it wasn't a bad putt. It's kind of one of those 50-50ers.
Yes. Nice birdie.
Very
from
nice.
Valerie. Back-to-back birds. Feels good.
Yeah, she's definitely still in the mix. Breaking into that power walk.
Feels good, especially going into hole 9. It's the first par 5 of the day. 519 feet, another zigzag-zig type of a fairway. These two fairway trees are brutal. They will get you into trouble if you kick into the woods. You want to try to get past them and down into this bowl. The deeper you can get into the bowl, the better, because it sets you up to have an open look at the basket. It's basically a 90-degree angle, and there's a lot of guardian trees on the green that don't let you just throw an easy backhand to the pin. You have to throw a little bit of a technical, kind of a flexy sidearm.
Is that all?
Kona lining up the backhand. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know why I would have pegged her as throwing a forehand on this hole. She catches the fairway tree, but it lays down softly, and she'll have a no-nonsense pitch down into the bowl.
I think this is a TL3, and she almost had it. Those fairway trees are so punishing. I mean, it feels like you've laced it, and then all of a sudden you're in the woods.
I feel like backhand is absolutely terrifying on this hole. It is, I think, the better shot of between the two.
And they're all being aggressive throwing fairways. Oh, that was so close. It just looked perfect.
It did look good.
I throw a mid and I don't even try to get quite all the way to the bowl.
I feel like that's a smart play.
Because if you hit a tree, you won't quite bounce all the way off. But I'm sure these ladies are thinking, I can eagle this. Because if you get down into that bowl and get on kind of the left side as you're looking at the pin, you could definitely 3 it.
Yeah, easily.
Difficultly? It's definitely not easy, but you can.
Yeah, when you can kind of taste the eagle, it makes it easy to want to play aggressive. You can see Paige is thirsty for it.
Sounds like a sports drink. Taste the eagle.
She catches some cabbage on the right, but she'll still be able to save a par from there.
Wow, Kat really punished after a nearly perfect drive. Man, she was all the way stretched out. That is rough.
I don't think you can have a weekend at the Beast without falling into the leaves after throwing.
And just basically laying down and giving up. Kat overcorrects a little bit.
She's kind of ping-ponging to the right side of the fairway. It is not good over there either. Kona taking the aggressive gap up the gut. She's not trying to pitch into the bowl. She's trying to get all the way there.
That was beautiful.
That was amazing. She's outside the circle. She's got to look at a putt for eagle. We can see why she's been hitting this course so hard.
Kona just sent me colors of what discs are what, so I'm not really sure what that was, but I really want to know.
Valerie,
Emperor?
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Valerie just has to pitch out. It's a bummer, but she has room with her great drive to save par. Sentence over.
All right, Paige scrambling. Really having to push the left side of the fairway here to get all the way up there. And that was a quality shot. Couldn't have done much better.
Still about 100 feet to the pin.
God.
Oh my god.
Do you even know what we're looking at?
Where is she?
I think the pin is the way she's
on the
pointing
right side.
her disc.
Did she go deep on the right side? Is she
Yeah.
trying to cut the corner?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, remember she pitched out too far. Now,
This is when you start paying the price.
yeah, I don't even know where she is. She's just trying to go over.
Oh. Chopping off fairway at the Beast is not the idea.
I mean, that's tough though, because she just pitched out and it didn't go well. So
That's
like,
true.
I could see why she's trying to like bite off some extra, but now she has no choice. She's so deep in there, like pitch out isn't even an option. Like, look where she is. How'd she get there? You know?
And there's still even another wall of trees before you can even get inside the circle.
God, it's just so dense. Ooh, she got away with that one, but
Twice or it's luck. That was a great up and down. That's for par for her, right? No, maybe for saving a bogey. I'm losing control. There's a lot of shots happening.
We're gonna see.
There's a lot of shots happening.
We'll learn together.
I still don't know exactly where Catrina is. Oh,
In a strange place. Well, she made it all the way through, so she'll have a putt now.
looks like she's on the path to the next tee pad for the
Yeah,
men.
that's exactly where she is.
That was Kona pitching up. She's going to get a very easy birdie on this.
Yeah, she made that look like no big deal.
Paige with kind of a technical putt over the tree.
That's an amazing par.
I don't...
I thought it was for bogey.
Me too. I almost said that. She made that par look hard.
All right.
Long putt.
Just finish it off and get off the hole.
Downhill.
Very
no
nice.
problem.
Ugh,
My goodness.
that hurts.
Making a nice putt, though, to cap it off.
Yeah, I mean, limiting the damage as much as possible, but I've never seen someone so deep in the woods here.
No. Somebody had to chart new territory. She did. Valerie saving her bogey. I thought that was for par. Kona for an easy birdie.
Yeah, wow. Briskly jogging away from the field.
About 20% of the field got the birdie on the hole, which I'm a little surprised. I mean, that's a lot of the field. But there was 2 eagles on the day as well. I want to cram it in. Rebecca Cox and Haley King.
That's so awesome.
So awesome. You don't get to see a lot of eagles in FPO. Katrina with such a strong front nine, having a trouble hole on the end, but we're confident she can come back in the back. She does great in the wind. Valerie, rough start, kind of bounced back. Paige having
rough middle.
Yeah, rough go of it.
Kona, though, 4 down, I believe, through that front 9.
I feel like she's sprinting away now.
She is, broken into a sprint.
All of that preparation has paid off. It's super awesome to see her doing so well.
Thanks for watching the front 9. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Madison Walker. We'll see you guys on the back at
Honk.
the Beast. Honk honk.